Hey guys, I'm back for another vlog. Just passed a very critical milestone actually. Um, Yesterday, today is February the 12th, by the way, 2021. Just yesterday, on February the 11th, was my 1 month anniversary of having VSG surgery. A lot of changes this week, at least in my diet, what I can consume. No more liquids, no more purees. I'm back onto soft solids. Just slowly getting into that phase now where I'm more or less experimenting with foods to see what works and what doesn't. So far, the good news is everything that I have consumed has been good. No issues. I've not been sick. Um, Everything's going well. Getting my water in, which is of the utmost importance. Doing well with the vitamins. Following the orders is, as laid out in front of me. Very easy. Plain black and white in ink. Says do this, I do that. Um, Starting to up my exercise a little bit around the house here. I still have limitations, and I will have limitations for the next 7 to 8 weeks. Well, not the next 7 to 8 weeks, through 7 to 8 weeks. So I still got about 3 or 4 more weeks before I can do more intense exercises. Hopefully by then I can boost my metabolism a little bit by adding some more intense weight training and that sort of thing. But right now I'm still taking it easy. My incisions are almost completely healed. They're still there. You still know where they are. You still got the scar, of course, but all in all, it's not bad. It seems like the last week the incisions have almost all but disappeared. So there's still the scar there, but for the most part, that part's done. No pain. I'm having absolutely no pain except for maybe some indigestion if I do overeat or overindulge in food. And when I say overindulge, I'm not saying a binge because it's not possible. For me, I might be able to get 3, maybe 4 spoonfuls of food, and that's it. At least that was liquids. Solids, even less. Your stomach is now the size of a banana, and so you have a very finite amount of room in there. So you definitely can't overindulge, and if you do overdo it, you will get sick. So I've been doing relatively well managing that. Again, sometimes I will get a little indigestion after eating, but oftentimes that goes away after about 20 to 30 minutes. So I don't need to take any meds for indigestion or anything like that. Still no heartburn. The weight loss is still going down. I did do a graph of my weight loss, and it's more like at first with the liquid diet, it was like a straight drop, and then levels off, and then kind of stair steps all the way down to where I am now. So let's give you an update. I'm down 52 pounds since December 28th, so I'm very happy about that. I'm noticing it more and more every day. My coworkers are noticing it more and more every day, and I'm very happy with that. My BMI has dropped, I believe 6 or 7 points now, so down from 60. So I'm sitting at a BMI of 54, which is still morbidly obese. But hey, we're working on it. We're working on it gradually. So in the next several months, we'll see that score come down as well, along with my overall weight. So 52 pounds is a lot in just a couple of months. So not even a couple of months, a month and a half. So hang in there if you're contemplating the surgery. It's the first. I think the worst part isn't necessarily the pain, which I feared from the beginning. The worst part for me was the liquid diet and dealing with the liquid diet post surgery, and it's now relieving that I can start adding some variety and eating real food, what I consider real food. Still low carb, low fat, that sort of thing, but I'm able to try a little bit more, and it's going well for me. Hopefully, if you know it, I should say it doesn't always work like that for everybody. I know some folks have some troubles. They try new food and it doesn't agree with them. So everyone, I want to stress that everyone's journey is different. I've been very, very lucky. Um, no complications, which, as you know, I've done everything that I can to avoid that. I did everything the doctor said, and it seems to have worked. That doesn't mean that I can't have a late stage complication now, and I'm not going to get complacent in that. But at least, it is a sigh of relief that, no blood clots, no issues with dealing with, that disaster. Um, the weight's still coming off. It's still annoying because you do plateau. Your weight does stabilize here or there, and you don't see very much movement. But all in all, just be patient. And I'm a millennial. Like I say, I'm very impatient. It is a flaw of mine. It is definitely a weakness. I'm used to instant everything, so I'm just ready for it to fall off when I look at the calendar like, oh yeah, it's just a month, So, but with that being said, in the last month I've lost 30 pounds since the surgery. So I lost 20 before the surgery and 30 after the surgery for the first month, and that's pretty good. That's where I should be. That's where my doctor said I should be, and hopefully, going on to the next several months, 25 to 30 pounds each month. We'll see. I'll keep a constant update on that. I have a fitness tracker on my phone that logs my steps whenever I remember to take my phone with me, which is kind of weird because usually it's glued to my pocket. But there's sometimes I forget. I mean, it is what it is. So, moving on beyond that, I talked about transitioning to the solid food. Already the changes have made this endeavor worthwhile for me. Just the notice and looser shirt. My pants are literally falling off me. I've had to go down to the last, even beyond the last hole there in my belt. So I'm having to pull additional holes just to keep from having to buy a new belt. So that's very satisfying. That tells me I did what I needed to do. That tells me that I'm so far successful. So regarding my future success, it's all on me. And there are some things where I realize that there needs to be changes. I don't need soda, especially now, and not ever. So I'm done with soda. When I want to get a soda kick, usually I'll try something like Powerade Zero or Gatorade Zero just to have something different than water. Of course, I can put stuff in water, but to me it just tasted like watered down lemon or watered down lime or something like that. I would rather just drink, plain water in that case. But when I want to get something to drink that's, that has 0 calories, and especially after a workout, the Gatorade works. So that's one thing that I've noticed. For all you soda drinkers out there that's considering the surgery. So this last month, I'm going to kind of characterize it. At first, it was more of, less of weight loss, even though I was monitoring it a lot, and more so just healing and making sure I was healing properly and making sure there were no complications. And then once I passed the 14 days, the midpoint in the month, and started going to purees, it was okay to have something different, something that wasn't completely liquid but still liquefied. And then that got old after a while, but there are times where there's a bit of a social challenge and a bit of a mental challenge to this. And I understood that. If you remember my first vlog, I said I don't know what to expect, but I do anticipate mental gymnastics. And that's exactly how I'd characterize the last 2 or 3 weeks. Going around folks again, coworkers, coworkers eating, that sort of thing. It is different. I don't really feel like an outcast because it's one of those things where, I realize that You know, they are different. They can have, you know, whatever they want whenever they want, but it's still really interesting because my brain wants food, but my stomach doesn't. And I think only folks that have gone through this procedure understand that. My brain wants it, my stomach doesn't. So that being said, the triggers are still there. You know, basically the same thing that I rambled on for multiple vlogs now. You can't escape the triggers, but it seems like it is much easier to control because if you listen to your stomach, are you hungry? Are you hungry? That's the question. For me, generally no. I do feel hunger pains if I go a while without eating. My stomach does feel empty, and I start eating. I eat normally. There's no pain. I feel myself getting full, and then usually after the fourth or fifth bite of whatever I'm eating, I stop, give myself some time for the the signals to go to my brain. Okay, yes, legit, I'm full, and it feels. I'm not gonna say uncomfortable, but you know, after 5 or 6 bites of something, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely satisfied. I'm done. But my brain still thinks, wait, you've only had 4 or 5 bites. We are just getting started. No. My brain's going to learn. Is going to learn apparently the hard way because that's probably not gotten easier. After, 5 or 6 bites, my brain's like, come on, um, this isn't normal. This isn't normal for you. And that's part of the addiction. Your brain is like telling you one thing, but your stomach's like, whoa, okay, that's enough. And so it's kind of like a boxing match between the two, which ultimately your stomach wins. Physically, it has to. Otherwise, you eat too much, you go to the bathroom and throw it up. Simple as that. So it is a mental game. There are maybe 2 or 3 times where I'm like, why did I have to have this surgery? This looks good. My brain's telling me that looks good. My brain's like, you want pasta, you want to go to Olive Garden and have, all you can eat breadsticks and that sort of thing. But in reality, no, you can't. You can't. It's done, you know? Those days are over. And over time, your brain's just going to have to accept that fact. I guess mine's a little more stubborn. So, and it does have a lot of emotion to it because in a way it does feel like there's been a death. Your old habits are now dead. They're gone. And your brain is still, looking for that. It's still looking for those old habits. And so a month in, I still deal with that. So and at this point, I haven't went to any of the group therapy sessions or anything like that. Really don't have the time. Right now, it's really busy at work. I just worked 8 shifts. Well, technically 7.5. I worked a 4-hour training shift where I had to facilitate some training at work today. Help co-facilitate some training today, but yeah, I just don't have time, which is good because it really takes away from the mental anguish of breaking the addiction. So at least I have that to fall back on. What else? I mean, outside of that, outside the mental gymnastics, everything's great. I mean, I'm just blown away by my progress and how things are. It seems to come up in conversation quite a bit because that is a major thing in my life right now. My mother's always checking on me. What are you down to today? What are you down to today? And she's ecstatic, and I'm hopeful. And I've noticed that there are some friends that maybe have taken some inspiration and doing some, weight checking of their own and working hard on getting what they need in terms of weight loss personally. So even that's a huge win that, I'm not going to say I inspired it, but it at least put that thought in their mind where it's like, maybe I should start counting my calories. Maybe I should watch my carbs, that sort of thing. And in reality, that's great because they're my friends and I want them to be around for a long time. I don't want them to have to suffer through any issues being overweight, because they're there. And like I said, when I was right now I'm 33 years old, so yeah, I mean I don't have that much more time to deal with this obesity problem before it starts having some major implications, and I've mentioned that before. And to be honest, and I told my friend this, I'm just today actually, I said, I'm not ready to accept, and I wasn't ready to accept that at 33 I was beyond middle age. I'm not ready to accept that. That's not acceptable. I want to be around for a very long time. I want to be around to see, see the future, have a retirement, live out my retirement for as long as possible. So little short-term issues here or there with the mental gymnastics, but all in all, it's going to work out. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see what happens over the next 6 months. A lot to look forward to. I can't wait to go to Universal in Orlando and jump on some roller coasters. I can't wait to, jump on a plane without having to buy 2 seats, or upgrade to first class, which again is expensive. I can't wait. I did this, I think, a little bit later than I should have, but for the most part, I caught it early, relatively speaking, and I'm going to get this corrected. So I'm very grateful for that. Again, in my past, I've been overweight for most of my life. Since I was a little kid, I loved to eat. In fact, I think when I was 5, I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could fill my stomach all the way to the back of my throat. Just even, being 5 years old, you're not sure of the science of how your esophagus works. But, I looked at it as a challenge because my parents and my grandparents always challenged the kids to, clean your plate. My brother was a very picky eater. He is actually very, very, very thin. He's always been thin. He's always had this just amazing metabolism. Or maybe it was the fact that he just was a very picky eater. For me, on the other hand, you put it in front of me and it was gone. Because that's what I knew that, my parents wanted. I wanted to impress my parents. I wanted my parents to, not get angry like they would get angry with my brother. So I grew up learning how not to get in trouble by doing the exact opposite of what my older brother did. So that was kind of how that worked out. But then again, did it work out? Well, in this case, no. But at least I didn't get yelled at. But all that's beside the point. Grew up when I was in 7th grade. Middle school was rough. Bullied a lot. Made me very reclusive, as I mentioned. I don't think that this surgery is going to fix that. I don't think that, losing a lot of weight will fix that. I'm still going to be who I am and who I'm programmed to be. But at least right now, this is going to rewire how I think, and how I, go about food in general. So at least this is corrected. Any issues with being reclusive, being isolated, which I guess we all are right now during the global pandemic, but, being rather reclusive, not wanting to go out, not wanting to be around friends, or, get that, that sense of relief when plans are canceled. I mean, that's pathetic, I know, but it is what it is, and I said that twice now. I'm looking forward to that, being rectified at some point. And like I said, the surgery is not going to do that, but it's a start. It's a start on working on my mental health, which, to be honest, isn't bad. I'm very happy. I wanted to extend my life. I wanted, to live a longer life. So, I mean, I think that says a lot about my mental state. I want to live. I want to, experience retirement. Other people that, just have given up on life just don't care. And I haven't given up on life. I still got so much I want to see, so much I want to do. So many people I want to meet that I haven't met yet. So, all right, guys, I have rambled on way too long. Yay, 1 month. It's exciting. I've gotten through most of the more challenging parts, and I'm excited. I hope you guys out there, whoever you may be, if you're considering the surgery, I hope you're doing your research, and I wish you all the very best. Okay? All right, well, I'm going to, again, sign off here. I'm not sure when I'll do another vlog. Maybe in a few weeks. Again, work is just chaotic right now, and then in a week and a half, maybe, yeah, a week and a half from now or so, I'll be going on to midnight shifts, and for those 7 days, I'm just out of it. Like, there's going to be no vlog during that time. I can tell you that right now, because it's just way too much to overcome, working from 9 to 5 overnight. So, all right. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Be safe. Be happy. Be healthy. I'll see you later.